UFC Fight Night, Adesanya Pfyer is over. It's over. And first off, I want to say one of the best main cards so far in a while that I can think of. Besides like UFC 323, but even that had like a pretty bad co-main. Every single fight on the main event for this card was sick. Now for picks wise, maybe didn't do the best. Maybe didn't do the best, but it was all worth it because this was a sick card. Now first off, we didn't start too strong these first couple fights, but as we get on, the fights are going to get better and better. But let's start off with Alexa Thainara versus Bruno Brazil. I thought Bruno Brazil would get it done. I'm an idiot. I mean, I think that's the only possible way for me to kind of tell you why I picked Bruno Brazil. It's because I'm an idiot. 137 total strikes to 72, 6 takedowns, 2 submission attempts, 73 significant strikes to 37. Alexis Thainara just put on a pace on Bruno Brazil. Didn't let her get anything going, and won unanimous decision 30-27. Bruno Brazil like head kicked Alexis Thainara in round 3 or something. I wasn't watching; I was at work, so I was listening. But yeah, I'm kind of an idiot for picking Bruno Brazil. But so I don't start off this fight strong, and then Adrian Yanez, Ricky Simone. Now some say a robbery. Some say a robbery. I personally gave, from listening, Ricky Simone round 1 and 2. Now, I can see you giving Yanez round 1, but based off of the final flurry of round 1, I think that stole Ricky Simone that round 1. And of course, round 2, Ricky Simone got his takedown and was able to do some pretty good ground and pound on Yanez in round 2. Round 3, though, Yanez put it on him. Yanez put it on him. Almost put him away at the last second. Arguably could have stopped it. The ref let it go on. A lot of strange stoppages tonight. A lot of weird, strange stoppages. Some too early, some too late. I don't know what's wrong with these Seattle refs, but let's not go back for a while. Let's let them get things sorted out. But I picked Ricky Simone, so this doesn't count towards my record, even though he should have won. Robbery for Ricky Simone. Ricky Simone should have won that. But no, Yanez looked great. A lot better than I thought. Ricky Simone just kind of looked slow, and he like stopped. He would like throw half a punch, half a jab. He'd throw like a jab hook, and like halfway through a hook, he'd like freeze and like contemplate like, should I throw this hook? And then he get hit with something from Adrian Yanez on the counter because Ricky Simone's pausing midway through combinations. So a little disappointing from Ricky Simone. And then he shot 1 takedown in round 1, 3 takedowns in round 2, got 2 of them. Round 3 he shot 1 takedown, not really a takedown. It's like those weird clinch things. Didn't shoot a single takedown in round 3. Not like a real good takedown in round 3. Didn't shoot a single one. Kind of an idiot, But, Adrian Yanez looked really good. Ricky Simone, But it's a majority draw, so it doesn't count. Now, Navajo Sterling Bruno Lopez. My first one right on the card. I thought he'd get it a little bit quicker. But Navajo Sterling, very, very slow. Very slow, and he's very methodical. And he's big for he's very good. He did a lot of body kicks and teeps to the body. And Bruno Lopez would keep on grabbing it and trying to pick him up and toss him. But Navajo Sterling has some sick takedown defense for a light heavyweight. Very good balance. Very good at getting to, 3 points of control on the floor and, breaking a body lock when needed to. So great work from Sterling for that point of view, but he was getting clipped quite a bit by Bruno Lopez. Clipped a little bit. I think he's not ready yet. He called out Ion Cutelaba. I think he could maybe beat Cutelaba. I'd be scared though. I'd be very scared for him to fight Cutelaba. That'd probably have to be a decision where Sterling's kind of taming Cutelaba, which is hard to do. But decent fight. Sterling got the finish in round 2. Kind of a late, letting this really drag on ref. Keith Peterson. My goodness, Dominic Cruz with all the late stoppages on this night, dude. Dominic Cruz was going crazy. Like, I wish Keith Peterson, because it was all Keith Peterson. Most of these late stoppages were Keith Peterson letting that go on, dude. Bit of a late stoppage, but great one from Navajo Sterling. Showed some class. Outstruck him on the feet. Very good too. He kept on throwing that two to the body, throwing the two to the body. Then he brought it upstairs. Rocked Bruno Lopez, followed him around. Ended up ground and pound finishing him in round 2. I thought he'd get it in round 1, but he got in round 2. Got in round 2. Moving up, Casey O'Neill, Gabriela Fernandez. Casey O'Neill just comes out guns a-blazing. A year of ring rust doesn't matter for Casey O'Neill because she'll come in there and knock out Fernandez standing up. Standing up TKO for Casey O'Neill. Insane stuff. So, besides the Alexa Thainara Bruno Brazil, even if I got that right, that fight was boring. So I got a cut on my lip, so I'm like, that's awful. But insane work from Casey O'Neill. She just clipped Gabriela Fernandez, and Fernandez just kind of wide eyes is wobbling back, gets her back to the cage, and Casey O'Neill just starts teeing off, hits a mean right hook, and Gabriela Fernandez is like her strings got cut. Knocked her out cold, dude. Some nasty KOs on this card. Alexa Grasso, we're talking about you. But moving up, Marcin Tybura, Tyrell Fortune. Tyrell Fortune got it done. I chose Marcin Tybura, so it looked like he won round 1 based off of the numbers. Oh no. He lost round 1, maybe won it. Tyrell got the takedown. Let's say he lost round 1. He won round 2, and he won round 3. How did he lose? Some judge had it 30-27, Tyrell Fortune. Either way, Tyrell Fortune is not going to make it far. It was a blob fest. I thought Marcin Tybura was used to being in a blob fest, but he wasn't. Tyrell Fortune out-blobbed the Blobmeister, which was Marcin Tybura. A little disappointed. I thought Tybura would get that submission in round 2. He didn't. Tyrell Fortune wins by decision. I didn't watch this one. I was listening to it, and it sounded like a blast. Moving up, Chase Hooper, Lance Gibson Jr. I told you I wanted to pick Lance Gibson Jr., dude. I told you. I got swayed by everyone on Tapology choosing Chase Hooper. I thought, well, maybe he'll get some good takedowns and get a work in. 0 for 2 on takedowns. It's getting wobbled by breezes. Chase Hooper is just too weak for the division. And he's really good at grappling, dude. He has in a grappling match, he's lost to Aljamain Sterling by split decision or something crazy. He's really good at grappling, but he's just not there as a fighter. He kind of just starts shelling up and giving up when he takes too much damage. Lance Gibson landed a sick elbow on him throughout the fight, and one elbow's too many. Chase Hooper goes flying, and then he hits a nasty kick to the face. Lance Gibson Jr. does on Chase Hooper. Sends Chase Hooper sprawling to the floor. A little bit of an early stoppage. Chase Hooper needs to start realizing you're a jiu-jitsu guy. Just do what Oliveira does. Sit in your guard. You even feel like you're hurt. Lay back and relax. Why are we doing this mean man, mean mugging kind of thing? You have elite jiu-jitsu. When you get hurt, lay on your back and recover. That's the point. That's what Charles Oliveira does. You can do that too. That's not a limited time. That's not a character specific bonus. That's not a character specific ability. You can do that too. It's not locked just to Charles Oliveira. I think if Chase Hooper starts doing that, maybe we could see a little bit better from him because then he can recover quicker. Because it seems like any damage done to Chase Hooper sends him tumbling. Sends him tumbling to the floor, on chicken legs. I don't know, dude. Any damage taken from Chase Hooper just is not good damage. So I chose Chase Hooper I think round 2 submission. Lance Gibson Jr. gets it done. I did tell in the prediction video, I did say I think Lance Gibson Jr. This is a lot closer than you think. I just didn't think Lance Gibson Jr. would hurt him that easily. I guess Augusta Breeze could hurt Chase Hooper, dude. But good fight. Good fight. Moving up. Bahamondes Tawfiq Musayev. Ignacio Bahamondes had this in the bag. Round 1, outstruck him pretty well. Was at range. Musayev, took him down once, but didn't really do anything. Round 2, knockdown. So you would think, dude, Bahamondes won, dude. Uh, actually, never mind. He got the knockdown though. But round 2, Bahamondes knocks down Tofik Masayev. He's just better on the feet. He's just styling on him. He's styling on Tofik Masayev, and he goes for the ground and pound, kind of fumbles the ground and pound finish, and Tofik Masayev grabs the cage to get back to standing up. Grabs the cage, rips down the cage wall. No one cares. No one cares. The judges don't care. The ref doesn't care. They just let him up. And so Bahamut is thinking, how do I get this guy? How do I get this guy going? I know what to do. I'm going to pull a guillotine and put myself on bottom. So he ends up, surprise, not getting the guillotine. That's what one of these sub-attempts are for. Doesn't get the guillotine. And Tufek Masayev headbutts and bites and elbows and is basically a wild animal on top of Ignacio Bahamondes. And just elbows the crap out of him for like 3 minutes. Cuts Bahamondes bad on the head. Bahamondes goes for an arm bar from bottom, doesn't get it, and he loses this round. Round 3, same thing happens. A couple reversals, low significant strikes, a lot of grappling. 30-27, 29-27. Like some weird scorecard. The judges and the refs, let's never go back to Seattle, dude. Let's never go back to Seattle. Weirdest scores, weirdest judging, weirdest stoppages, weirdest scorecards. Let's just don't go back to Seattle, dude. It was awful. So I chose Bahamondes round 2 KO. Almost got it. He didn't get it, though. Oh, no, I chose round 1 KO. Didn't get it, though. Didn't get it. So that's cool. That's cool. But then... So basically, I'm on a losing streak, dude. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No, 4 wrong in a row. And then my boy, Terrence McKinney, comes and pulls me out of the gutter. Gets that first round KO. You know how it is. This McKinney, I told you he's due for a win. He gets that win. Now, the main card I start sweeping, dude. McKinney, right? Mansour Abdul-Malik, Yusri Belguri, by the way. This is the main card, dude, was sick. And if Bahamondes didn't get robbed, this would be sick fight, all the way to the main event. But no. But let's Terrence McKinney does his thing, dude. What else do you want me to say? Terrence McKinney knocked out Kyle Nelson. Kyle Nelson gave up. Terrence McKinney hit Kyle Nelson so hard, he knocked that mustache off of Kyle Nelson's face. And he just gave up. He lost all of his power. Once that mustache flew off of McKinney's face, Nelson's face, he lost all power, so he just crumbled up, couldn't keep going. Anyways, moving up. The real fight of the night. Mansour Abdul-Malik, Yusri Belguri. Belguri's just too good, dude. I told you. I don't know why he was the underdog. He's just out-striking, styling on Mansour Abdul-Malik. You know, Mansour Abdul-Malik doesn't really try any takedowns in round 1. He kind of tries to strike with him. And Yusri Belguri is just kicking the crap out of his lead leg. Calf kicks, and he's going shin to shin. But I'm guessing Belguri has no pain nerves in his shin. So he can just shin to shin all day with Mansour Abdul-Malik. And Mansour Abdul-Malik is going to feel that. And Belguri's not. So by the end of round 1, Mansour Abdul-Malik has a huge welt on the side of it, on his calf, on his shin. He's walking funny on it. And Belguri's just, whenever Mansour Abdul-Malik rushes in, blitzes in, chops a low kick quick. Chops a calf kick really quick while exiting. So it kind of sends Mansour Abdul-Malik stumbling one way while he's exiting out the pocket the other. And that just kind of happens all of round 1. Nothing too crazy lands. It's just a setup round. Now, round 2, things get crazy. Round 2, things get crazy. Now, Mansour Abdul-Malik goes, this guy's killed my legs. I can't brawl with this guy. I got to do something different. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some takedowns. He gets 2 takedowns. Sick takedown defense from Belguri. 4 takedown attempts. 2 of them made it, you know. It was a high-paced fight, you know. 70. Let's look at this. 24 total strikes were thrown from Mansour Abdul-Malik. 47 by Belguri. With all of them being significant for both. Round 2, 21 total strikes, from Mansour Abdulmalik with 4 takedown attempts. 74 again. No, oh no. From 47. Now 74 significant strikes. Sorry. Total strikes. From Belgarawi with 2 knockdowns from Belgarawi. And they ended with 49 total strikes and 16 with 4 takedown attempts. Crazy pace. Anyways, I just want to point that out. Crazy good pace. But yeah. Mansour Abdulmalik goes, I can't really get anything on the feet with this guy. I'm going to have to try and take him down. Belgarawi stuffs like the first 2. He's just kind of outboxing Mansour Abdulmalik, being very good at exiting the pocket while Mansour Abdulmalik is crashing in. The clinch, he'd beat Mansour Abdulmalik in the clinch game because once ever he'd fail a takedown or get a takedown and they work their way back up. Belgarawi's there in the clinch and he's got a double collar tie and bam, knee to the head, bam, knee to the body, knee to the body, knee to the body, knee to the head, elbow on the break. And Mansour Abdulmalik just couldn't really do anything on the break. He couldn't do anything in the clinch. He's just a little too weak in the clinch. I think he's not used to being there as much. And Belgarawi, that's his bread and butter, it looks like, because he was loving the clinch. So round 2, fight's almost over. Bam! Right hook on the exit. Knocks Mansour Abdulmalik down. Could have called it, but no, they let the fight keep on going. Mansour Abdulmalik's probably out for like a couple seconds at the end of round 2, but they let it keep on going. And round 3 happens, dude. Round 3, Mansour Abdulmalik. Round 3, they send him back out there and go, all right, dude, you just got to survive. Nick Sick tells him, all right, well, dude, we got to go for a knockout. Dude, you got knocked out 30 seconds ago. We're not getting a knockout. They should have called it. If his corner wanted the best for Mansour Abdulmalik, they should have called it. Just speaking, realistically, thinking with a brain, they should have called that fight off. If his corner wanted for him to be healthy. But no, they send him back out there with a concussion, and they go, all right, pal, get back in there. And so as soon as Mansour Abdulmalik, the round starts, he gets a huge objective survive on the top of his forehead. And he's just kind of trying to survive. And Belgarawi, respect to him, he could have just waited out a decision, played it really safe, jab him, calf kick him even more. He probably could have gotten a calf kick TKO. But that is not from the cloth that he's cut, dude. It's just not. So Belgarawi comes in guns ablaze and he's swinging. He's going for the finish. Left hooks, right hooks, combinations, knees to the body, knees to the head. And Mansour Abdulmalik's just kind of trying to survive. Like I said, he's kind of turning his head and he's walking left and right. He's trying to get away. You know, Belgarawi is peppering in like a jab and a leg kick every now and then just to keep Mansour Abdulmalik, like, oh, he's going to do other stuff too. No head kicks, though. I feel like he could have gotten a head kick while Mansour Abdulmalik was trying to exit out the side, but, a couple head kicks, but nothing good. Like, he landed a couple decent head kicks, but they were all blocked. But at that point in round 3, Mansour Abdulmalik's hands down real low. I guess just Belgarawi didn't want to risk ending up on bottom. Makes sense. He didn't want to end up on bottom and maybe lose. But, Mansour Abdulmalik just gets beat up for, I want to say, 3 minutes straight. 3 minutes straight. He gets beat up, gets a takedown at some point. Belgarawi follows through where something crazy happens. No, Mansour Abdulmalik shoots like a deep double leg, gets it, and Belgarawi stuffs his head and posts out, gets his hip out, and then they reset, and you can hear the Grim Reaper bells coming, the boom, like those deep bells, boom, boom. Like those bells, when the Grim Reaper comes, you could hear that from Mansour Abdulmalik. And he was just trying to survive, dude. He was running, dude. He was in a horror movie, dude. He was trying to escape, trying to win. And Yusri Belgarawi's just stalking him down, and bam! He grabs Abdulmalik, knees him in the forehead, and Mansour Abdulmalik just shuts down. Very tough dude. Sick fight. Mansour Abdulmalik has to work on this gas tank, has to work on combinations. When he's not bigger than somebody, when he's not, athletically more explosive than somebody, and they can kind of quell him, they can quell his explosiveness and his athleticism, he kind of sucks, dude. And I was saying, Belgarawi's more proven, Mansour Abdulmalik's beaten nobody. Drew with Cody Brundage. And some people were like, dude, no, he's good. He's the favorite for a reason. He wasn't. He wasn't. But yeah, Yusuri Belguru gets it done. Round 3 knockout. I thought it'd be a round 2 knockout. Almost got it, but it was a round 3 knockout for Yusuri Belguru. I think I said round 2 or 3. So I'll give it to myself. You know what? I deserve it because I did awful on this card. I'm moving up. Julian Erosa, Larian Douglas. Now in the video, I may have said Julian Erosa. In the video, I may have said Julian Erosa. Is that true? Yes. Let's just take a look at something real quick. I'm going to bring up something real quick. Nothing crazy. I just want y'all to be the judge of this, alright? Want y'all to be the judge of this. Where'd I go to my picks? There we go. Okay. All I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, dude. I had Douglas KO on Tapology, so really that means I got it right. No. You know, if you want to be nice, and you can mentally give this to me, I'll be back real quick. Right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, I'll give you the option. You can either give me the Larian Douglas KO over Julian Rosa, or you can say that I said in my prediction video that Julian Rosa will get a submission or round 3. I don't know where you would have heard that because no one watched my prediction video anyway. So technically, I got this one right. But I will say, Larian Douglas, I'm in love, dude. I'm in love. He's a cool guy. I think he's probably going to be one of my favorite fighters at featherweight, dude. I need a new one because Diego Lopez, I love him, but he's too high profile, too well known. I need a lower guy. And Larian Douglas, I mean, this dude swings. I think if he was wearing shoes, he would have swung himself out of his shoes 4 different times. He swings with power. He swings with hate, I think. I think he swings with a little bit of hate in him. I think he grimaces, and then when he knocks someone out, dude, he's the gunslinger he's the sheriff around these parts, dude. Unranked featherweights, dude. You better watch out. There's a new sheriff in town. There's a new sheriff in town, and he's got 2 big irons on his hip, alright? Not just, he doesn't have a big iron on his hip. He has 2 big irons on his hip. And he's swinging, he is popping those irons like nobody's business, dude. Rattle them off. Pow, pow, pow. Julian Erosa, let's break this down. Julian Erosa is getting jabbed, and he's getting dropped. I don't know if Julian Erosa has paper mache for a chin, or if Larian Douglas punches like Ngannou, but he was getting jabbed by Douglas, and he'd get sent flying. He was leaving imprints of his body inside the cage walls. No joke. I think 3 different jabs sent Julian Erosa, flying. By the way, how bad is Mikos Acosta? I mean, really, dude, close decision over Julian Erosa? How bad is Mikos Acosta, dude? Anyways, just insane. It's just insane. But yeah, Larian Douglas just stays on him. Erosa stays in there, kind of fires back a little bit. Larian Douglas takes some hits, but he's got a good chin. Didn't even phase him, dude, because he's in there on a mission, dude. He's got a bounty. Julian Erosa had a bounty on his head, and the sheriff was bringing him in, dude. The sheriff was bringing him in no matter what. And he took that outlaw down, boy. Dead or alive. Dead or alive. And unfortunately, we couldn't bring Julian Erosa in alive, dude. We couldn't bring him in alive. Well, I guess we'll get half the pay. Don't matter. We brought him in. We don't do it for the pay. We bring that bounty in to bring that bounty in. But yeah, sick KO for Larian Douglas. I just had to show this that I got it right on Tapology, so you know. Maybe you can give it to me. I don't know. Anyways, moving up. Michael Chiesa, Nico Price. I thought Nico Price had it. I didn't pick him. I picked Michael Chiesa by round 2, a submission. Nico Price, the fight starts and he's throwing a crazy haymaker, trying to take Chiesa's head off, dude. He goes, "This is my retirement fight." I think I heard him say that. Because the winner got to speak at the retirement fight. The loser had to retire in silence and shamefully. So Nico Price comes running in, bustling in, throws a right hook, misses it, and they're kind of brawling, dude. The first, I'd say, 20 seconds of this fight, bit of a brawl between both. Nico Price goes for a throw on Chiesa because he swings in, misses in, and he's got the body lock. Goes for a throw on Chiesa. Chiesa reverses that, goes for his own throw. Nico Price doesn't fall for it. He's crafty. He stays balanced, and then they reset, and then somehow Chiesa has the back body lock, and he lashes up the back, and Nico Price is standing over with his kind of on all fours with Michael Chiesa on his back. He feels Chiesa going for it, so he jumps forward and has Michael Chiesa slam on his head and neck. Dude, the amount of money I would have paid for Michael Chiesa to be slam KO'd by Nico Price in his retirement fight in round one. I mean, I don't know if there's a price tag on that. I would have paid so much money to see that. Unfortunately, they just roll over, and then Michael Chiesa gets the rear naked choke. Like I predicted, dude. Like I predicted. Yeah, and they did a retirement thing. Michael Chiesa, he was the Ultimate Fighter. He was ranked, I think. He fought Tony Ferguson, submitted him. That's it. That's all he's done. But he got a retirement package. He was holding the UFC hostage, and they finally got him gone. If I see him on an analytics desk, I'm gonna lose my mind. He doesn't deserve to be there. But yeah, And by the way, they had a better retirement package for Michael Chiesa than Mighty Mouse. Mighty Mouse got inducted into the Hall of Fame tonight, and they used baby Henry Cejudo, a baby woman like they probably made that retirement package. I'd guesstimate 8, 7, 6, 5 years ago, somewhere in that ballpark. Made that retirement package, not even retirement package, that Hall of Fame package for Mighty Mouse that many years ago, and they just never got to. Honestly, maybe even like 10 years ago. 2016? I don't know. I don't know time that well. When was like Baby Cejudo? I don't know. Either way, they like had Baby Cejudo, they had like Baby Paige Van Zam or whatever her name is. I don't know, dude. I don't know. But Chiesa got, a hip, brand new retirement package because, it's cheap. Who cares about Mighty Mouse? But moving up, co-main event, Alexa Grasso, Macy Barber. This was probably the nastiest woman WMA finish of all time. Macy Barber, she's shadow boxing. They're both shadow boxing. Alexa Grasso, quick hands, dude. How good is Natalia Silva? I mean, how good is Natalia Silva, dude? Thinking back at it, because Grasso is dangerous, dude. Dangerous counters. I don't know who picked Grasso, but insane stuff if you did. I picked Barber by decision because I thought she's a little bit younger. She's on a streak. She's got the momentum, a little bit, like you can tell there's a bit of a weight difference where Barber's got some junk in the trunk, she's got some junk up top, and Grasso's kind of a stick. But that doesn't matter because Grasso has some pop in her shot. She sets her feet. And she countered Macy Barber, I think, 3 times. The first time, Barber kind of brushes it off. The second time, gets wobbled a little bit. She goes back in there. Third time, she blitzes in. Grasso goes for like a 1-2. The one misses. Sorry, lead hook 2. The lead hook gets hit on the guard. The 2 is right on her chin. Macy Barber gets spun around, sat down. Alexa Grasso goes for the nastiest and most accurate hook. Like she's behind Macy Barber. She right hooks her jaw from the behind. Lashes up the quickest rear naked choke ever. And what was it? KO. So it was a KO. Could have been, honestly, just gave her finish. Like she just, by demolition. Method demolition is what it should be instead of KO. Just destruction. Because that's what it was. I mean, Macy Barber looked like she did not belong in there with Alexa Grasso. So Macy Barber gets choked out. Mark Beltran gets Alexa Grasso off of Macy Barber. Macy Barber's gone. In a different world. She may have taken drugs before this because that's how out of it she was. Alexa Grasso probably has the best pain medication in her hands. That's how out of it Macy Barber is, dude. Um, Macy Barber, I would want to say, spends a good 3 minutes on the floor. They get Grasso off. Macy Barber tries to wrestle with Mike Beltran. They lay her down flat. They don't have her sit down. They have her laid down flat, and she's like in that AI promo of like Jamaea Strickland. If y'all have seen that, where like you have Duplessis and Whitaker and all those like fighters that Jamaea's beating on the floor. Macy Barber might as well have been in that edit, dude, because she was on the floor staring into nothingness, blinking. And I think she was. I don't think she was out of it. I think she was. I could imagine her staring like at the sky, kind of like, man, I just got KO'd in round one. She got KO'd. I think the reason they're saying it's KO not TKO is because Barber didn't tap to the submission. I think. I don't know. But now that I'm thinking about it, she was like out. She was like Grasso's like submitting her, and Barber hands out to the side. Nasty finish by Alexa Grasso. Nasty. How good is Shevchenko? How good is Natalia Silva? I don't know. I thought Barber was or Grasso was over the hill. But apparently Barber's over the hill, dude, because she got demolished, dude. Got demolished. Don't worry, Barber. We'll be back. Just call my number, dude. We'll go on a date. We'll get things fixed up. We'll be in the gym. I'll spar with you. We'll get that defense going. I would have tanked that shot personally. I would have tanked that shot from Grasso. Would have kept on going. Would have bulldozed her over. But I get it. She is like 125 pounds or whatever. But yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Macy Barber, just hit me up. We'll get some training done. Go on a date or two. And we'll get back. We'll get back there. We'll get back there. I think me and you can get this going. But anyways, great win from Alexa Grasso. Barber, hit me up. Hit me up. We'll get this fixed. Moving up, main event: Joe Pfyer, Israel Adesanya. Now, nothing happened actually. There we go. There we go. So round one, I think. Thank goodness I chose Israel Adesanya. Thank goodness I chose Israel Adesanya because he is quicker than Joe Pfyer. He has Joe Pfyer worrying about the head kick, the body kick, the inside low kick everywhere. Pfyer isn't too sure what to worry about. He's dipping his head down low to the right. Perfect for like a check hook or like a head kick or something to the side over there. And in round one, it looks really good for Adesanya. Adesanya stuffs a couple takedowns early. I think like 2 or 3 takedowns he stuffs early. And he's kind of just piecing them up, able to get in and out. Doesn't really throw his hands too much. Doesn't really set a jab. Doesn't really set, like a counter. Didn't really start countering too well off of anything. But his leg kicks and his body kicks, his head kicks, didn't really whip up too many head kicks now that I think about it. I think like 3 head kicks in this whole fight. It was like a 9-minute fight to be fair, but no head kicks. A lot of body kicks, a lot of low kicks, like calf kicks on the outside calf kicks and the inside low kicks where Pfeiffer's like trying to guard the body and then it's really an inside low kick or, he's getting ready for the head and then defend the head and it's a body kick and stuff like that. Adesanya looked levels above. He did look levels above for round one. And then round two happens and guess what, dude? Pfeiffer, he's a tank, dude. He's a tank and I should have factored in grit and determination because Pfeiffer has a ton of it and Adesanya has none. Adesanya's kind of gritted out. He's got 0% grit, 0%. Maybe it's just motivation. Maybe it's heart. Maybe he just doesn't have his heart in the game anymore. But Pfeiffer's got some heart in the game. Because even after being chewed up on the body, chewed up on his leg, Pfeiffer's kind of limping around. He's throwing heavy. He's gassed. I can tell. Adesanya hit him with like a flying knee to the neck. Kind of like the lower chin neck area in round one, by the way. I forgot to mention that. Round one, he hits him with that. Pfyer ate it like it was nothing. Probably because, like I said, most of it was to the neck, but still. Pfyer ate that, and then guess what, dude? He sits in, and Adesanya leaves himself open to counter. And I told you in the prediction video, round two is Adesanya's worst round in every single fight he does. He almost always has an awful round two. He may win round two, but he's gonna get clipped. He's gonna get caught. Something bad's gonna happen in round two, where he either has to recover, and he will, and he'll get that back, or it's too much and he's done for. Happening against Mavov, happening against Pfyer now, happening against Duplessis. Strickland, I don't think he really got him too much around two, but it's Strickland, so there's, not too much to worry about. But, Pereira in the first fight clipped him bad in round two as well. Even Gastelum hit him with the head kick in round two or something, I think. Whitaker in the rematch hit him with something big in round two. Round two is just Adesanya starts, he's like in between the flow state and a little too stiff. You know what I'm saying? He gets in between where he's starting to flow, so his hands are lower, he's starting to get into it, but not enough where he's going to be able to dodge, and he gets clipped. Fair enough, dude. Doesn't get put out cold. Pfyer hits, I'd say, 3 flush right hands on Izzy's chin. He took him. Dude. Ate him. Ate those hooks like it was nothing. But he's got... He didn't eat them with no, what's it called? With no punishment. No punishment. He eats those 3 hooks, and he's kind of giving too much space to Pfyer, respecting Pfyer too much on the back foot. Pfyer shoots in a mean double or something crazy, gets him down, and Pfyer slices into full mount like it's nothing. Adesanya gives up his back like 3 different times. Slices into full mount. Adesanya gives up his back. He broke Adesanya's nose or something, because he had Adesanya's back at one point. They were on the floor. Pfeiffer's going for the rear naked, and Adesanya's looking up, grimacing, going, God. And it looks like Voldemort. Something like Pfeiffer either broke broke something, or really hurt Izzy bad, or like sprained something, or a broken nose, or broke a jaw. I don't think maybe a jaw, but I don't know. He hurt him bad, where he's kind of grimacing on the floor, and Pfeiffer takes from the back. He goes, I can't really get a submission here. I'm going to go for ground and pound. Love that, by the way. I love when fighters see that they can't really get a submission and then transfer that into ground and pound. Love that from Pfeiffer. So Pfeiffer loops around in a full mount, and just bam, bam, bam. And Adesanya gives up. He just gives up. He doesn't really like punishment too much, so he just kind of shells up, gives up on the floor. Pfeiffer round 2 KO. I should have stuck with my gut. Because like I said in the prediction video, Adesanya has an awful round 2. And when you have an awful round against somebody like Pfeiffer, it's going to be really awful. But I didn't. I trusted Adesanya too much. It was a great fight. I enjoyed it. Main card was sick. Every fighter on the main card deserves 100K. Even Barber, dude. She had an Oscar performance laying on the floor pretending she was knocked out cold. Give her 100K just for, being knocked out cold, because that was hilarious. Give everyone money. Dude, that was a sick main card. Best main card in a while, But yeah, I did awful, So let's recount. So 0, 1. I won, but let the comments, guys. Comment below if you think I deserve this one. 2, 3. Bahamonde should have won this, though, to be fair. Tybura could have won this, to be fair. 4. I got like 4 right. I got like 4 or 5 right. I don't think a lot of people did get on this card, though. There's a lot of upsets, a lot of crazy decisions, a lot of crazy upsets. Like, I don't think anyone had Grasso. At least by not like that kind of domination. Insane. But yeah. Don't be funny, make some money. Buy the numbers. Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Come on, dude. I see all these views. Views are rolling in. let's interact a little bit. Come on, tag, comment something. I'm gonna do a video that's not uh card related this week. Probably gonna do like most active fighters, most active fighters list or something. I'm just pulling up the most active fighter in each weight class. That could be fun. So yeah, don't be funny, make some money, buy the numbers. See you later.